got my base cut out and made to where I want my land area. That way it strains down. This is all going to be water area over here. I cut out a little hole here for a piece of 4-inch. You'll see what I do with that later, but this goes right in there. And that's going to be the land area. I'm going to house the pump in here for the water. A little pump here, just a little 90 gallon per hour. They work really well. That'll go in here. And then that'll be my filter. So on the bottom, I'm going to cut this out to fit inside of here. I'm going to cut out a little piece to put the pump in. So I'll get that marked, get that cut out, and I'll be right back with you guys. So I'm just cutting around the outside of the pipe, pair of scissors, cutting the foam to size. It'll be a little oversized this way, but that's good. It'll fit snug into the pipe. Now that piece fits snug in there in the base. Perfect. So I'm going to cut out a little spot in here for the pump to sit down in the water. Now I got a hole for my pump. Widen it a little bit, right like that. Way my pump's in a little filter, goes right in here. There we go. Now I'll drill some holes in the bottom here of the pipe, that way water will flow through. I'll drill another hole for the exit for this to come out over for the water feature. This is really just going to be decoration to hide the pump. Basically, make it a pond filter out of it. Some biomedia, the filter down there, and that'll filter this tank for the firebellied toads when it's all done. Back along here and along this side. So that's the front side of it. That'll be at the back, the pump housing. So that's basically my land area. Over there will be the water area. That's the pump I'm using. It's just a cheapie from Amazon. And yeah, that's basically how it's going to be set up. And pump sits down in there like that. The tubing will go down inside. It'll come out the side underneath here, out, and it'll feed the water feature and filter at the same time. Okay, next thing I'm going to do is mark out the holes. Mark out the holes here for this, which I will be showing later. But these are for. then I'm going to lay out for the water feature where I want the water to come up. I'll mark that out for properly later for the bulkhead that I'm using. So what I'm going to do is put a bulkhead through it, a little fitting to connect to the hose. That way I can cut this where I want it, so for the height of the base for where the water comes out. Now when I cut the egg crate or light diffuser, I use flush cutters. Get them right anywhere, any hardware store, real cheap. So I'll get this removed, get the holes drilled out for that. I'll just mark where I want to cut the bulkhead. And very simply give a little snip. Bam. Double check we're going to fit. It's a little tight, so I'll just clean them up a bit. Perfect. Now, since I'm using this to foam around and not as an actual bulkhead per se, just as a kind of a fitting to get me to the height I want to be at, I'm just going to go ahead and stick it on through like so. And that way when I'm done drilling the holes, I can hook the hose up. It'll be all ready to go. Bam, like so. And remember to tighten your fitting up before you put this in. It'll make life a lot easier. So that will go back in there. I'll go ahead and get the holes drilled. And like I said, I'm going to drill a bunch of holes down here for the pump. And that way it feeds the pump into the filter, and there's the pump inside the filter media. So I'll do something like so all the way around. Where we get good pump action and the water flows nicely. And I'll use a pretty big hole on that. I'll get everything drilled out. I'll come back, show you, and then we'll get started on the foam backgrounds. Get them in there. I'll probably pre-paint them, glue them in, and then do my foam work, and then touch them up later. It's how I like to do it, because that way I can paint the sides that I want to paint just in case it's visible. So that's the bulkhead, and like I said, it just fits right through there. And then I'm going to foam all the way around it. I'll put a little foam and that way it makes my swamp area. Okay, so I got the holes drilled out in the bottom for the filtration, hose to come out for the pump exit, and then over here we got some extra holes. We're going to make some tree branches with some stainless wire and some foam eventually. We'll foam it out and make it look like a tree branch. So make it 3D looking. So this is going to be where I hide the pump, and it's going to basically be a tree branch. And there's the holes at the bottom. So we'll get going on that, and we'll start that process now. By itself. Looking all creepy. So this is going to look pretty cool. I'll probably put one coming out up here. Little one coming up here. And another one coming down there. And then I'll show you guys when I'm done. So that's it so far. When I come back, I'll have all the branches done and basically the whole skeleton done. I'll get the foam cut for the background, get that ready to go, and then we'll start foaming. Okay, we're going to start doing the foam now. So that's going to be it for now. I'm going to let that foam cure out, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you, and please subscribe.